In a comment in my last video, Tieng Song asked to see my Sepulcher Sentinel, Skull Crusher, and Sandlashed Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare clan boss team. He wants to see a live run and also how I build the team. So in this video, we're going to talk about those three champions. So consider this a champion guide for these three. All right. Before we even go right into the video, could you please give this video a like? I'm trying to get to 5 likes. So the first champion we're going to be talking about, and the most important, is Sepulcher Sentinel. She is the one who blocks the stun. And if your champions are not stunned, you have a chance to actually keep the game moving and living longer. Her main skill that blocks the stun is this A2 that places a 60% increased defense, which is an important skill, and also blocks debuffs. So this is the skill that she brings to the team. She also places a decreased attack, else the clan boss will do increased amount of damage to your team and you will not survive. So she needs a lot of accuracy for this skill to be placed. And you should by now know the accuracy amount you need for the Ultra Nightmare clan boss or the Nightmare clan boss. A cool passive she has the ability to block all incoming damage by, it's a chance to 25% chance of blocking the incoming damage. So sometimes one of your champion will not take any damage. I especially like that when the clan boss tries to stun the what's his name, Skull Crusher, and then she blocks all damage. He takes 0 damage. I like that passive, but it doesn't always place. She has a increased ally defense in all battles by 25%, so this champion can be used in other parts of the game. She's not just a clan boss specialist. She can keep your team alive in Dragon, in Doom Tower, and other parts of the game. If you bring her into the arena, she can also be really annoying to deal with, because when she plays this skill, block all debuffs and increase defense, that means your allies will stay alive longer while they do damage or the enemy tries to take them down without success. For her masteries, I built her just for clan boss, so you will see me coming down to the War Master Mastery 3, and because she also needs a lot of accuracy, you see me going this way to get accuracy. This team for Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, I built it as a 2-to-1 ratio team. That means she is so fast that she goes sometimes 2 times before the clan boss takes a turn. Basically, she's faster than the clan boss. That's why I needed to select this Law of Steel to give me some extra speed that I needed. Because she places a buff, she has the chance to, extend. Okay, she places also a debuff. She extends the duration of a debuff. So her increased attack that she places on the clan boss, this skill, for 2 turns can be increased to 1 turn. I mean, by an extra turn, that means for 3 turns sometimes, which is kind of cool. That is why I selected that. So that's her build and masteries. Her total stats, if we look at it, is 238 speed. You will be fine with 235. I just added an extra 2. I don't know why. I didn't need it. And her default accuracy total is 252. You need at least 250 for the Ultra Nightmare clan boss, so she can place that decreased attack. Her HP is quite high. I didn't want her to be the target of the stun, so that's why I have that amount. And defense, of course, 3,500 defense or more for the Ultra Nightmare clan boss, so that's why I have that amount of defense. So you will see me going with accuracy, banner, defense on the amulet, defense on the ring, speed boots because she needs a lot of speed, and then you see my speed substat. The best way for you to go up to that 238 is to have speed substat on all your artifacts, and of course a 2-piece speed also. I have HP right here, but I'll have a 3 roll of speed substat right there, so that's pretty cool piece. And I have not changed this yet because I have 3 rolls of speed, which helped me get up to that amount of speed. So you need a lot of speed in your substats for you to get this amount. And of course, the Elhades artifact tool extractor will help you find your best artifacts to reach this amount of build if you specify that you need a lifesteal set. So that's not what I used to build mine, because that was a while ago. This is my beginner set, but I've improved it over the time. Sepulcher, the most important. Why did I just close that? The next champion in the list that we need to feature in this team is where is it? Sandlashed Survivor. Sepulcher places the increased defense and block debuffs for 2 turns, and Sandlashed is there to extend it for an additional 1 turn. That is the whole purpose in this team. She also has a secondary role of blocking, where is it? Ally Protect, which kind of blocks damage when a champion goes below 50% HP. So the Ally Protect just comes out of nowhere. You don't have to do anything. It's not a skill, it's a passive. So it blocks damage on herself, which is kind of an unkillable, and helps these allies stay alive when the clan boss is about to take them down. But this is her main skill, why she's actually there, to decrease the duration of all enemy buffs. This is not useful because you'll need accuracy for this to land on the enemy, but this is what she needs. Increases the duration of all allied buffs, so that is why we need her. She also has a increased defense aura, just like Sepulcher Sentinel, so you can place any of them in the lead depending on the affinity of the clan boss. Her A1 presses provoke, which has no use for us in the clan boss. So like I said, you don't need to put accuracy in this champion, so I did not build her with accuracy. You can see my banner is a defense and HP banner. Defense, speed boots, defense. She needs a lot of defense for a total defense stats of 5,388. I went this high, which is an overkill, because of her ally protect that she places, so she doesn't take a lot of damage. Because sometimes when she places that ally protect and the clan boss hits, she ends up dying when her block damage buff has expired. The ally protect lasts for 2 turns, while her block damage lasts for 1 turn. Alright, for speed 175, nothing crazy, so she is just fine. It's only Sepulcher Sentinel that needs to be really fast to place that block debuffs. So she has a 2-piece defense set also to help her also stay alive longer. Her HP is kind of low, but it works for me. For Masteries, I have her going the defense 3 because I don't have any need for accuracy or any speed, turn meter, whatever. No, I just need her coming up to the defense 3 and having this chance to counter attack when a buff is placed or when she goes below 50% HP. And she also goes with War Master because she's a 2-hitter, not a 3-hitter. Standard clan boss build. The next champion we're going to be looking at is Skull Crusher. He is highly important in my team. My damage won't be as high as doing 2 key Ultra Nightmare if I do not have a Skull Crusher. For his skills, this is what he's best known for: ally protect, counter attack, and places an unkillable all himself. So his A1 places a heal reduction, and you don't need this on the clan boss. So you should not build this champion with any accuracy, so he doesn't use this heal reduction to occupy 1 slot where your poison is supposed to be. That is why people do not build him with accuracy. I specifically look for artifacts that does not have any accuracy substats when I'm building this champion. He has a passive that decreases the duration of all debuffs on him. That means if he gets stunned, he can just clear the stun on himself and take his turn, but his skill will not be reset when he's stunned, so it's still nice. It's still not nice to have him stunned. He has an resist aura in faction crypt, which is not useful for the clan boss. Also, he's rocking with lifesteal and some broken sets to make sure that he has enough defense to take all that counter attack damage that is coming to him. He also have a defensive boots because I have enough speed. He has 171 speed. That is why I was able to put him in defensive boots. If your Skull Crusher doesn't have his 171 speed, there is no need for you to look for defensive boots. You can go with speed boots. Although he might die in the second AoE when his Unkillable has expired, especially for Ultra Nightmare. So the defense keeps him alive. Defense on his... Okay, I have HP on the banner. I have defense on the chest also. A lot of defense. I think I have a lot of speed substat also. That's why I don't need the banner for accuracy. No, I don't need the boots for speed, I mean. I built him with some crit because I want him to also heal up whenever he takes a turn. Because remember, he's taking all the damage and going low. So whenever he takes a turn, I need him to just hit the clan boss once and at least go above 50% HP. And with these crits, he's able to do just that. For a total stat of 60% crit rate, it's not yet 100%. And some say if you build him with a lot of crit damage, he will take a lot of damage also from the clan boss. So his crit damage is low enough to heal him up. Of course, War Master procs will do the healing for him when it hits. He currently hits for about 80k to 70k. Not War Master, I'm saying his normal hits, because if you see him 60% crit, that's kind of heals him up a lot. He's also coming down to the defense tree because he doesn't need accuracy and counter attack when he goes below 50% or when somebody is stunned, which is usually the stun target. His stun target, because his HP is what is his HP? It's not just low, it's 51,000, which is enough HP, because he goes so low from counter attack, he still gets the stun. So the clan boss always targets the person with the lowest HP when the clan boss takes a turn. That's the 3 champions we'll need for this build. Rhazin can be replaced by anybody else who can remove the clan boss increase attack, or somebody else who can place this decrease defense or weaken. So he is just a person who is placing decrease defense or weaken for me. If you have War Maiden, if you have Tyrell, whoever can take that role. But I use Rhazin because his A1 removes the clan boss increase attack. That is why he's in the team. So he's not really part of this review. We'll do another review for him another time, because I have him in all defense and a total stat of 177 speed, 40k HP, and a lot of defense also. You can see his crit rate is 82% and a little bit of crit damage because he is there for damage. And his masteries are looking like this. He needs some accuracy, and he also needs to increase the duration of his debuff. Sometimes he places the decreased defense for 3 turns, sometimes he places the weaken for 3 turns. So that is why we have this skill on him. He has a 3-hitter A1, so he goes with Giant Slayer. That's the build for my Rhazin. And who else? Now we need a poisoner. The last person on the team who can use an awkward brawler, who is currently sitting on total stats of 172 speed. You can notice that everybody is faster than Skullcrusher, right? 40k HP, 3000 defense. It's kind of hard to build Skullcrusher with a lot of defense because his defense his base defense is kind of low, 826. That's why it's hard to bring him up. But his accuracy is important because he's there to place poison. So I have him in accuracy banner with total of 253 or more. 253 accuracy for the Ultra Nightmare. You might need less accuracy for the Nightmare or Brutal. This my team was working for me for Brutal, and when I was able to finally farm up the required speed I needed to make Sepulcher reach 238 on a lifesteal set, that's when my team became a Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare team. So this team was already working in Brutal. I had Sepulcher since I started playing the game, but Skullcrusher came later and I started building it for this type of team. I do not have an Unkillable team because of this team I currently use. I do have sitting in my vault or sitting in my inventory right now, you can see Painkeeper and also Maneater, which can help me build a budget Unkillable. I'm currently working on that. I'm working on the Masteries. Well, not really, yes. I'm working on the Masteries slowly. And I'll build an Unkillable team because you can see majority of this team is Force. From Skullcrusher to Sepulcher Sentinel to who else? To Rhazin. This is a Force team. So whenever I come against an affinity of spirit in the clan boss, it's a bad day for me. So before we go into the runs and see how this team works, let me show you how they are working in the Deadwood calculator so you understand when to actually use their skills. To not waste a lot of time, I've already imputed all their speeds in the calculator. Take note that whenever a champion has Law of Steel, you also have to select it. Like I think Sepulcher Sentinel has Law of Steel. See, I did select it, and one speed set, I selected everything. Now let's see how the clan boss run goes. Starting from the A1 of the first champion is Sepulcher Sentinel. She is 238 speed, so she is way faster than the clan boss. As you can see, she takes a turn using her A1 before the clan boss takes his AoE for the first turn. Now on the second turn, everybody can now go. Rhazin should not place his decreased defense and his decrease and his weaken on the second turn. He should not place it here. You should always place this skill on the first turn, so that everybody has a chance to hit the clan boss in the first AoE and the second AoE. That is how you make good use of your damage when you're using Rhazin. Don't place his decreased defense and weaken on the second AoE. It's a waste, because of Skull Crusher will do a counter attack, and this skill needs to be on the clan boss from AoE 1, AoE 2. That's the best way to do the damage. So that's why you see my Rhazin doing A1 right now. He is not placing any debuffs. The next person that takes a turn is Sandlash. She's not extending anything, because remember, Sandlash has not yet placed the buffs to be extended. Occult Brawler does his A1. I locked out Occult Brawler A2 skill. He's not going to die. If you think your Occult Brawler is going to die, you can let him use his A2 skill to heal himself when he goes low. But I locked it out because his A1 poison is all I need him to do in this team. And because I have Skull Crusher and I have increased defense, he's going to stay alive. He's not even going to be the first to die. Skull Crusher is going to be the first to die because of all that damage he's taken. Now, Skull Crusher takes a turn doing his A1 also. I don't need him placing his Ally Protect and Counter Attack right now. I need Sepulcher doing her A1 also. So you see, nothing happens in turn 1, nothing happens in turn 2. Now in turn 3, that is where it gets interesting. That is why you need this team. Before the clan boss is about to hit and stun everybody, we still do our A1s as regular, but notice Sepulcher Sentinel now places her increased defense and block debuffs. That is where she comes to the game. Now that means when the clan boss takes a turn, nobody is going to be stunned. The clan boss hits us, and of course he's going to target anybody that he likes, whether it's affinity or not. So he's going to target anybody, and then because they are all full health right now. And now, right now, this is when we take our turn, and Rhazin now places his A2, which is decreased defense and weaken. Sepulcher Sentinel takes her turn. She has already placed her increased defense, so she is doing her A1. Sandlashed Survivor now comes and increases the buffs. So right now you have buffs going for 3 turns. That means a lot of people will stay having this buff until the second AoE. That's what it means when Sandlashed Survivor increases the turn of the buff, because the buffs were placed in the last before the stun, and now because they are increased, they will last for this first AoE and this second AoE. I hope that's clear. Occult Brawler is protected, he does his A1. Skull Crusher now places his counter attack before even the champion takes a turn. So that means when we place her counter attack, when the clan boss hits his first AoE, we will counter attack. When the clan boss hits his second AoE, we will counter attack. That is how this team does all the damage. I just wanted to show it in this explanation before we take it to the live testing. And it will run like this non-stop, just like this. Skull Crusher doing it, his thing, and Sepulcher doing her thing, and Sandlash always extending, so we stay alive until we can no longer stay alive. So you can see there is nothing like turn meter increase, nothing like any weird things. This team is straightforward and will take you through Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. Let's see a live run before the video ends. If I go to my clan boss, I was saving my key just for this reason. Let's pick up something and hope I get something. Oh, I didn't do the maximum damage yesterday. Because, you know why? Spirit affinity. And today also it's spirit affinity. Whenever the nightmare has a spirit affinity like this, I know I'm not going to do one key nightmare. But right now we can see Ultra Nightmare is magic affinity, which is awesome for my first team. Sepulcher Sentinel is going to be the one that will be targeted for the stun this time. But remember, we are still protected from any damage. Let's see what we're going to get. Oh, I'm keeping this. Nice. Another reason why you should build this team and get to Ultra Nightmare fast so you can get awesome rewards like this. Let's start. So this is the team I used for Spirit Affinity yesterday. You can see this is a rubbish team, and I'm gonna reorder it right now. I really need to build my Unkillable just because of I can't fight Spirit Affinity with this team. I put Sepulcher Sentinel in the lead. Where is she? Because she has so much defense, she can take the damage. And this is Spirit Affinity. No, this is Magic Affinity. So I'll put all my first champion in first. Rhazin first. Where is Rhazin? Right there. I could also use this as a poisoner, but no, I'm not gonna do that. She's not built yet for the clan boss. Block this and poison. Now I usually prefer to use what do you call his name, Occult Brawler for poisoner, but let's just use this dude because Occult Brawler is negative affinity today. Let's go. Start. You cannot auto in the first thing like I showed you in the Deadwood Jedi clan boss calculator 2. Don't auto this team. You auto in the second turn. So the first turn I'm going to A1. The clan boss takes a turn just like the calculator predicted. I'm not going to use my A2 right now. I'll do A1. A1. I'm waiting for the stun. That's when I'll do it. I will not place my poison right now also. You know, for Frozen Banshee, she needs the poison sensitivity to be on the boss before she can place a poison. I'm not going to use it right now. I'll use it for the first turn. So I'm not going to place my counter attack right now. Another A1. I'm waiting for the stun. Now the clan boss has taken his second turn. This is kind of bad because we have some decrease at accuracy. Sometimes it makes me lose a turn, but it's fine. I'm not going to increase any buffs right now. I'm still doing my A1. Now the clan boss is about to stun. This is when I place the A2 to block. I'm not going to place counter attack right now. I'll still do A1 right now. Now the clan boss stuns. Like I told, he's going to target the negative affinity. It's fine. And this is when I now do... See, it resisted because of decreased accuracy. But now I do my real skill. I did an A2 for Rhazin. A1. Increase duration of all buffs. Sepulcher did it. Now I can do... I'm supposed to click auto, but I'm just showing you how they go now. And that's it. That's how the team goes. So I can press auto and we'll fast forward this team to the end and see how they actually go. Hopefully my recording can take all this down, because it's going to be a long run. It's about 12 minutes to 15 minutes, and the run usually ends at about 30k damage, 30 million damage to 36 million damage sometimes, if Sepulcher Sentinel can keep Occult Brawler alive with her passive. The clan boss starts hitting out a lot when we get to turn 35. No? Is it 25? Yes, turn 35. that's when we usually cannot. And that's why I need to build an Unkillable so I can go beyond turn 35. I know that if I can go beyond turn 35, I will definitely surpass 3 key and go to 2 key range. All right, let's fast forward and you see the run at the end when it's about to end. All right, we're coming closer to the end of the run right now. I'm expecting 24 million to 30 million, and right now we are 24 million, which is at the point of a 3 key for the Ultra Nightmare. The clan boss damage begins to ramp up. You can see her doing 1 hit and halving Sandlashed Survivor's HP. And once Sandlashed Survivor goes down or Skullcrusher goes down, the run fails. See, everybody's beginning to get low. At count turn 31 to 35, that is where I usually fail. So it's expected because they don't have unlimited HP, or they don't have a lot of shield, and they have a lot of defense, but the clan boss needs to have some sort of unkillable, because you can't really survive this amount of, see, that kind of damage. Sandlashed Survivor passive kept everybody alive this time. So this is the type of RNG that comes in place, what might keep my players alive. For the stun right now, Sandlashed will survive it because she has full HP. And let's see, she's gonna be unprotected, and Skull Crusher is not gonna be targeted because he will be full HP also. Bam, blocked, 0 damage. You see, that is what Sepulcher can do for somebody who is about to get hit by a massive amount of damage. So that's where the RNG comes into play. So I'm at 10 on 34, and I assure you 35 and 36, I cannot survive this hit. This AoE is about to do massive amount of damage. Just watch. Increase and decrease attack has been on the whole time. Rhazin has been fine also, and the poison has also been enough to. I survived it, or one person went down. See, this is where the turn fails. So 38 million, can I hit 28 million? Can I hit 30 million maybe? All right, I had to stop and record again because I ran out of storage space for my recording. It's gone too long, and as you can see, one poisoner has already gone down. Let me click auto and complete the run. I was explaining that usually if it's awkward brawler, he doesn't go down as fast. Skull Crusher or Sepulcher, who is the stun target, is supposed to be the first one to go down. 30 million damage. 2 key Ultra Nightmare confirmed. 1 key Nightmare confirmed, and that is my team. Like I said before, this team works in Force, Magic, and Void. It doesn't work in Spirit because 3 of the champions needed are Force affinities, so Spirit doesn't work. I could confirm that if I make somebody who has a shield, what's his name now, Brogni, if I bring a shield champion into this team, I might improve my damage and it will become a confirmed 2 key because he will be able to place shield past this time where the clan boss is doing all this much damage. His shield will keep them alive past turn 40, turn 45 maybe. But right now, the only person keeping them alive is Sepulcher with her increased defense, and Sandlashed also. And right now we are still going because this is positive affinity for Force. Remember, this is magic affinity. So Force is not taking that much damage. You can see the clan boss doing a lot of weak hits. Usually I end at 25 million, and which is a 3 key clan boss Ultra Nightmare. Wow. See the counter attack that we placed on Sandlash in her Masteries. That is what make her take that turn when she took more than 25% of HP damage. And she's done. Once Sandlashed Survivor is done, that means the run is about to fail. If I hit 35 million, that would be a 2 key Ultra Nightmare, but we know I wouldn't get up to 35 million. Wow. Skull Crusher is down. If I had a Poisoner alive, I might have gotten up to 35 million, but Poisoner went down too early. My Frozen Banshee is not built as good as Occult Brawler. Can these two guys make 25? No, I spoke too soon. Alright, that's the total damage for Ultra Nightmare with this team. You see right here, with the weakest being the Frozen Banshee Poisoner. And this team will work a lot better for Void, but for Affinity also, it helps that it's positive affinity. If it's Spirit, sorry, it won't work. And that is the reason why I'm trying to build my Unkillable team. Let's see where I rank. Right there, 34 million for Ultra Nightmare. So that's the run. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Son Tien-Son. Thank you for leaving that comment. If you made it up to this part of this video, if you are patient enough to watch and understand all I said, could you please give me some feedback in the comment and maybe drop a like? I'll really appreciate it, and maybe also subscribe. All right, I don't think there's anything left to show. That was my clan boss team that I've used from mid game out to the end game. I've not changed anything than farming clan boss for more better gear to improve their damage. And I won't end this video without showing you my great haul, because it will be unfair for me to tell you that is all possible without showing you the great haul. You can see the amount of accuracy I have. That means I did not need to look for accuracy in most of the substats. You can see most of my substats were all looking for HP and defensive stats, because I already have maxed out my accuracy on these champions I needed for the clan boss. So if you don't have enough accuracy maxed out, you might need to put some accuracy in your substats to reach 250 accuracy you need for the Ultra Nightmare, or less for the Nightmare. And also for my damage, I'm also trying to max out their crit damages, because I'm not building them with crit damage. As you can see, I'm just building them with crit damage to give me some crit damage at least. And the next thing I focused on was defense, because you can see it's force and magic affinity champions I have in that team. So I'm trying to make sure their force affinity defense is full, so they don't take a lot of damage from the clan boss. This comes in handy if you're going to build this type of team. Fine, if you're starting, it's good to test this team in brutal. It's good to test this team in nightmare before you have the stats to make it to ultra nightmare. Or if it, because not everybody can have unkillable teams, because man-eaters are difficult to get. Shout out to Deadwood Jedi for making this calculator possible for us to use and test our skills and make sure they all work before we go and test them out in the real clan boss. All right guys, I'll see you in the comments. Ask any questions. You can leave messages in Discord. You can ask specific questions you need me to give you screenshots or more advice on your clan boss build. And if you also reach me on social media, on Twitter, if that's your preferred means of communication. My name is Brix5D and I'm out.